This is a 2021 389 with an X15 Cummins in it. And I really like this truck because it kind of matches my toolbox and a few other reasons. But let's get into what we're doing on this customer's truck. I want some panels that go under here to cover up this with lights in it. So we have some painted that are painted to match. He also wants some of our fuel tank covers. They go on right here. You'll see them in just a minute with some lights in it. And then also he wants one of our flush mount deck plates with all the hookups. I think they're gonna go like right here with maybe a short pogo stick. I'm not too sure yet. And then on top of that, he would like me to make a little beauty panel that'll go in and make this look nice and squared off instead of that curb that goes up. I don't know if it's possible. I'm gonna have to let the air out of the system to make sure we're not gonna end up hitting the frame, because I'm afraid that's why they cut that out. But this thing sits super high, so I think we'll be able to do it. I'm not sure. If it does work, he wants us to put a row of lights there, and then a row of lights like right there. If we can't make that work, we'll probably put 2 rows of 4-inch lights right there. So we're just gonna go along with it and see what happens. I do like this light bar in the back. I don't know who built it for him, but I like it. It seems to be pretty stout. He's gonna put full fenders on here, and he's gonna use that as the back bracket, so that's a great idea. We gotta get right into this. I gotta get this thing done like very fast. And for those of you that don't like 30-hour videos, this one should only be 5 minutes. Little forewarning, this will be a step-by-step video that I'm gonna forget the steps on. But step 1, have a truck to install awesome parts on. Step 2, get a bunch of sawhorses out to lay your awesome parts on. Step 3, drain the airbags and check what our height is at. And I think we're gonna be just fine to build a panel across there. We'll have about an inch of gap between the panel and the frame yet, and that's all the way down on the stop. So we should be more than good. So let's get to building. Step 4, lay out all your parts and make sure everything, you know, who, what, where, and when, how this is all gonna work. There's the side panels. I'm assuming he wants lights put in these, so I'm probably gonna have to drill some holes. I didn't paint these panels. These ones showed up like this. They probably should have had holes drilled before they were painted. But we're gonna drill holes in it now that they're painted. These panels are the ones we made, and as you can see, I did drill them before I paint it, so that way you don't get corrosion as quick. But oh well, who cares? We're gonna put this together. Now this was supposed to be a time lapse. I was gonna have the camera sitting where it was, showing me fit this up, but then I was gonna move the camera to the backside and show you how I fasten them. But these were, I believe, test fitted at another garage where they were built, because this is like an extended cab, day cab. Like, it's really weird. Anyways, it's kind of nice on the inside. It looks kind of dumb on the outside, in my opinion. But these were specially built for it, and I got everything clamped in place here where it should be. And when I bring the hood shut, the bottom is kicked out about an inch too far. So I'm gonna have to move it back. I would say at least half an inch is what I'd have to do. It would sit back behind this lip a little bit, which would be okay. It's not what I want, but it'd be okay. I can make it work to make the hood be able to shut correctly. But now I'm running into the problem of there is air in the system right now. And this is down against already. And I can't go back any farther because that's against there. So I really need to get these things out before the air goes down, or put a block in the cab and figure out what the heck I'm gonna do. It really needs to be cut up about another 2 inches and at least another 1/2 inch this way. And they're already painted. I didn't paint these, like I said, they were fitted and painted somewhere else. And now I'm installing them, and this is the type of work I do not like doing. Because now there's a lot of figuring that I'm gonna have to do to make this look right, and I'm gonna have to be really gentle with this not to screw this up. So, you may or may not see video clips of me fixing this, or you might just see a video after it's done. We're gonna have to just see what happens here. Okay, so I think I found the solution. That panel over there, it's a mess in here now, but that panel over there needs to be trimmed up at a couple different spots. This one here, I made a mark where I'll have a 1/4 inch a gap between the tank and this. I'm not too happy with that. It might bump if they're like in a rush to go somewhere and they don't let their cab air up. The swaying back and forth might bump, so I might go a little bit higher, but that's just the curvature I need for this fuel tank. And then I'm gonna take that exact same piece and mark it on that one and cut that one out and a couple other spots, and then I'm gonna hopefully have them installed. Let's just see what happens. All right, it's mounted. That's all you guys need to know. I mean, I used the original bracket on the bottom and pre-drilled some holes and then put some fine thread self-tappers in across the top. I had to take this thing out probably 10 different times to adjust it, and I ended up adjusting his hood too because it wasn't coming, when I was coming down, it was hitting right here and not going down properly, so it was sitting back too far, so I was hitting that. This side of the hood, somebody tried adjusting it and had it all out of whack because the paint was off of it, so I know somebody tried to adjust it. This side was up as far as it could go, and that side was down as far as it could go, basically. So the whole hood was sitting on there all cattywampus. I strained his hood out, everything lines up nice. I'll show that at the end of the video. This is the things people don't understand, how deep you can get into a simple part like this. Like this right here, this should take me only a couple hours to put these panels on, hook up the lights, and be done. Instead, I've probably taken that thing out 5 or 6 times now and cut here, cut there, and I have to be super careful because it came here painted, you know, and it wasn't properly test fitted, clearly. I know I'm complaining a lot in this video about that panel. The rest of the video is not gonna be like this. It's just, everything's just gonna have to work because it was all supposed to be done as fast as possible, obvi, because we always are as fast as possible. So now I gotta work double time. So we're gonna get this thing done probably a little bit faster, hopefully. Step 1177 something. I just set that deck plate in. Got to figure out how I'm gonna mount it down, run the hoses, hook up the power wires, and get this job finished. So this is where I made it today. It's a huge mess in here. I'm gonna come in first thing in the morning and clean up and then finish it up. The deck plate is pretty well mounted. She ain't going nowhere. Everything's hooked up here. All the hoses are ran underneath. This panel here is pretty much done. I tapped right into the factory wire harness. When there's no light panels down there, what they do is they coil up this wire here and they put it up there. So I cut the zip tie, brought it down. I have extra wires with the factory Peterbilt plug. So I just plugged it in that way and put my butt connectors down there, which will be heat wrapped, shrinked, and taped up. So that way if he ever has to remove these, all he has to do is unplug it. And this is a really good plug. Same way on the other side. On this side, it's up there coiled up, and I cut the zip tie, brought it down here, plugged it in. So all he'll have to do is cut a couple zip ties and unplug it if you need to remove that panel, and plug it right back in. Same way with these panels that are gonna go on top of the fuel tanks. They'll also have a Peterbilt factory style plug. So that way I can just set them on there, bolt them down, and plug them in. So if he ever has to take them off, he just unbolts them, unplug them, and he's good to go. That's where we're at. It's been one of them days. Let's see what tomorrow holds. We're back at it again this morning, guys. Right now what I'm doing is I'm getting set up to install my tank covers. What I'm doing here is I put some tape on the frame here. What I'm gonna do, and these blocks are to make my box sit level, but you guys don't need to know any of that. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna put it in the center of my little flanged out area here. I'm gonna make a mark on here, and then I'm gonna measure out from the frame where I need to put my holes. Write everything down, because I'm at the point in life where if I don't write things down, 5 minutes later I forget. This deck plate isn't quite done. I say I have to fasten this front. Don't worry guys, it's not gonna look like that when it's done. Anyways, this side will have different measurements because they have a spacer in here for your big exhaust, for your regen or whatever have you. I don't really care. So both sides are gonna be a little bit different, but I'm gonna try and make them look the same. What I'm gonna do is set the cover on after I get all my measurements. We're gonna drill straight down through the cover and through this perfectly in the center where it's supposed to be without any mistakes. And then we're gonna tap this piece of aluminum with a 3/8 tap. So that way all I have to do is run my bolts down into it. And if he ever has to remove it, he just spins the bolts out and unplugs it and they're off. So if everything goes good, this should be a really quick, easy job. And by quick and easy, I mean, I'm hoping that I'm done with this within the next 5 to 6 hours. I have everything marked where I need it to be marked. Everything's measured, and I had to measure both sides, obviously. Got everything written down. We're gonna go ahead and drill these holes and tap them. All right, and now we got the accurate guesstimation of where I need to drill these holes. I'm gonna take these off, put them back on the sawhorses to drill them, because I have all 8 of my holes already drilled and tapped into my saddles or hangers, whatever you wanna call them. This side here is different. I kept it out with the fuel tank strap itself, so it doesn't look the same as that side, but he was talking about removing these blocks one day when the warranty runs out on the blocks. He's gonna remove them. So that would put this tank back in against this frame, and he wouldn't have to change any of these holes. Then it'll line up the exact same as that side. So that way we don't end up with extra holes in the near future. Time to see if my holes line up. And yes, I'm absolutely gonna coat all these bolts with Never Seez, because I do realize it's stainless going into aluminum, and it can corrode and rust together, or basically just corrode together. Can't rust, it's stainless and aluminum, but it could corrode together. Oh, look how everything just lines up so nice. Oh my goodness. So this is where I'm at right now. Everything's hooked up, everything's mounted the way it properly should be. The only thing I gotta do really yet is zip tie. That's my beef stick, by the way. Not my beef stick, but like beef stick that you eat. These bolts here are gonna get changed when I have nicer looking bolts. Like, I want to use style bolt, but this is the last one I have, so that's why I didn't. So I'll probably end up changing it out, but that's going to be for now. Yeah, I think it's looking really nice, guys. I'm gonna zip tie everything up. I still gotta build a little bracket to keep this front end here up instead of flopping. And then zip tie and do some beauty shots. I don't think I'm gonna get the row of lights in the back here this round for this customer, unless he leaves his truck here longer, which in that case, this video is just gonna be longer, so. Well, here it is, guys. We are finished, finally. The only thing I wanna do yet is I do need to wipe it down. It's kind of dusty and I got fingerprints all over it, but I don't have time to do that tonight. I'm probably gonna do it tomorrow, and I wanna get this video done, so, you know, it is what it is. Seems to be the case with a lot of my videos. So, if you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe. That'd be great. It does help me out a lot, especially when you guys like and comment. See how I got that to line up? I think I got that in the clip here. And if you don't like this video, if you didn't like the way this turned out, if you don't like my format, don't watch the next video because it's probably not gonna be any different. Yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching, and we got a bunch of projects coming up here soon. I'm repainting a Kenworth, a red Kenworth, frame and body. It's gonna be a complete paint job. We got a Peterbilt we're building. We got all kinds of stuff going on, so stick around. Yeah.